حبك متوب يا حبيبي لا تروح بعيد انت.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome at the 10th edition of the AHK Eindwerkprijs ceremony, live from the Melkweg in Amsterdam. Today we will award 3 prizes for the best graduation works of 2021. And the nominees are Lautaro Ochman with his composition Notes, Ramin Amin Tafreshi with his composition Sauchant, Dion Rosina with his painting series The Unspoken Truth, Lotte Salomons with her short animation film Longing, Marleen Hendricks with her theater performance X, Y, We, Vadim Ramsje, Ivo Siboom and Rosaline Hollestelle with their film Yalda, The Longest Night, Stephanie Idongesit Ete with her architectural design The Caliber Sculpture Garden, Abhay Kumar for his film in development Sector Quicksand, Andrea Lagrutta with her thesis The Democratization of Knowledge, Reza Mirabi for his choreography Time Will Tell, Nick Small for his landscape design Water Pride. Sit back, relax and enjoy the show.
She left her bag in California. I still don't know where she went. Hope she didn't catch a tan. She left her note to make amends. Oh, you'd never get her cornered, 'cause she never fell in love. You'd fall deep into her touch. She was deep undercover. Whoa, 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 never run alone. Your specific point, we never danced alone. Oh no, 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 I am innocent, of course. Officer, this is the truth, she just let me alone. Told me I would be a soldier, we'd be together till the end. Now she's with another man. A female spider knows her plan. And she always seems to get out, touches bullets like they're fried. I send Lupin top kinda tries. Can't even blame her 'cause she must. And now she gotta. Whoa, 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 never run alone. Your specific mind, we never danced alone. Oh no, 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 I am innocent, of course. Officer, this is the truth, she just let me alone. She just let me alone. I love it when she goes. Don't ever get too close. I don't need this alone. She just let me alone. Take it down, down, take it down, take it down, take it down, down, take it down, down. Come on. Take it down, down, take it down, take it down. Just take it down, down, take it down, take it down, take it down, down. Take it down, take it. She just let me alone. I love it when she goes. Don't ever get too far. I don't need this alone. She just let me alone. I love it when she goes. Don't ever get too far. I don't need this alone. She just let me alone. I love it when she goes. Don't ever get too far. I don't need this alone. She just let me alone. I alone. I don't need this alone.
Wow! Give a warm applause to Jefferson! Thank you! Yes. Yes, thank you. We will see you halfway through the show. Well, welcome everybody. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Sherazade Fritse and I am a creative developer and I'm also a former student of this university. And I will be your host for this afternoon. For now, welcome to the 10th edition of the AHK Graduation Prize. It's the 10th edition, people. 10 years of amazing people and amazing nominees. For now, we are live from the Melkweg for everybody watching at home. And I would love also to give a warm welcome at the viewers at home and the guests here in the hall who have all come to watch your dear friends and family. The executive board, over here we have Bert Verveld and Annette Lekkerkerker. They will kick off the ceremony tonight with a word of welcome.
Doen ze het allebei?
Oké.
Doet u het ook?
Vast. Ja, it works.
So, welcome. Sherazade already said this is the 10th edition, which is wonderful, and I'm always looking forward to it each year. It's a great occasion for the AHK. For the AHK Eindwerkprijs to be here in the Melkweg is also for the second time, because last year we had a special occasion here with only just very few people, with only the nominees, members of the jury and from the board. But this year, more, we have family and friends, welcome. We have the directors of the academies, welcome. And we have the members of the supervisory board, welcome also. Great that you are all here. Of course, we are very proud and very happy that we can show to the world, because this is being streamed, the great value of the work of our graduates, of our students. In the middle of the storm, in the middle of the pandemic, we show our strength, the persistence and the perseverance of our students. I know that we have all been looking forward, and especially you, the nominees, to this day with great anticipation and excitement. And we are all looking forward to who will win, not only, but also to the presentations of all the nominees, because to me, you are all winners. And we have, Sherazade already mentioned that, an online audience watching at home, eagerly awaiting things to unfold here in the Melkweg. And I'm sure that you at home extend your warm feelings and support to the nominees. So thank you for participating in this event. A special word of welcome also to the jury of this year's Eindwerkprijs. First of all, Ernestine Convalius, the chair of the jury. She is former director of the Belmer Park Theater and director of Krater Theater, and she's coach of many talented young artists, and she will declare this afternoon the winners of the Eindwerkprijs. Also present are Sephora Elders, head curator of Gropiusbau in Berlin and co-creator of Sonsbeek, Dominique Vleeshouwers, winner of the Eindwerkprijs 2013 and winner of the Nederlandse Muziekprijs 2020, and Edwin van Huis, director of Naturalis Museum in Leiden and member of the supervisory board. Let me thank the jury for their hard work and for sure for the difficult choices they had to make. And let me also thank Lieke van Rijn for organizing this event. She can't be here this afternoon because of Corona, but I'm sure she's watching, and please give a warm applause for her. Her colleagues are taking over from her today, so a special word of thanks also for them. And before continuing now with the ceremony, I would like to ask Annette Lekkerkerker, my colleague in the board, to say something about the importance of art, the Eindwerkprijs and what the Eindwerkprijs stands for.
Dank Bert. Thank you, Bert. And indeed, I would like to start by saying something about the importance of art in general, because art is important. To be bold, I think and I believe art has transformative power. It is often said that art enriches our lives, and yes, it can. But art, good art, does much more than that. Yes, art can move, surprise, or force us to stand still for a moment. All very good things. But art can also irritate, shock, turn things upside down, show us things we did not know, or perhaps do not want to know, or did not or do not want to feel or want to see. Art broadens our view, stretches our emotional life, increases empathy, cracks our brains. Art sometimes forces us not to look away. We cannot easily walk away from a performance or an exhibition, and what has been thought or seen or heard cannot be erased. And that's not always nice or easy. But the good news is that art, especially the not so easy kind of art, gives us the ability to imagine our lives, to imagine the world in a very different way. And by doing so, art offers us tools to change our look on things, our lives, to change our surroundings, or to change even the world. And that, for me, is the transformative power of art. And the work of all the nominees of this AHK Graduation Prize has this ambition of transformation. And I and we are extremely proud of the quality of the work of these 10 artists, makers, thinkers. You've done an amazing job. We are proud also of the power that speaks from your work. We are proud of your courage, your vulnerability also sometimes, your imagination and your intelligence. And above all, I'm very grateful that they, and I'll mention them, Lautaro, Ramin, Dion, Lotte, Marleen, Faidim, Stefanie, Andrea, Abai, Reza and Nick, use their great talent to surprise and confront us and enrich therefore our lives and therefore also the world through and with their work. Changing the world is a big ambition, but at least it will not be the same again. Not for me, not for us, thanks to you and your work that you have made and showed us. And congratulations and thank you for that.
Thank you, Bert Vervelds and Annette Lekkerkerker. For now, the program will take you through the nominated projects. And during this award ceremony, you can cast your vote for the audience award, and that will be a cash prize of €1,000. That means that you can only vote for the audience award during this live stream. You can view all 11 nominated projects and cast your vote for your favorite graduation project. You will find the URL and the QR code in order to vote on the screen. For now, please note, again, you can only vote your cast once. In about 45 minutes after the second performance of Jefferson, we will close the electronic ballot box and the votes will be counted. For now, it's time to introduce the first bachelor's nominees to you. And now we are going to watch a video of our first nominee in which Dion Rosina will tell about his painting series, The Unspoken Truth.
Tijdens mijn jeugd was er in de dominante cultuur weinig tot geen representatie te zien van mensen die op mij leken. Maar als ik terugkijk naar de tekeningen die ik maakte in mijn jeugd, zie ik dat ik aan die absentie zelf al invulling gaf. Door op een natuurlijke vanzelfsprekendheid mensen te tekenen van Afrikaanse afkomst. Ik ben Dion Rosina en ik maak schilderijen en tekeningen gebaseerd op beeldmateriaal dat ik verzamel. En met het beeld van materiaal heb ik een speciale focus op mensen uit de Afrikaanse diaspora en gemarginaliseerde groepen. Het werk gaat ook over mijn positie die ik inneem ten opzichte van het beeld. En het onderzoek naar de verschillende manieren om het beeld te verwerken op mijn manier. Ik kan gefascineerd raken door een bepaalde doordringende blik van een persoon, wat me aanzet om een werk te maken. Dat kan een persoon zijn, een tot slaaf gemaakt persoon, maar dat kan ook bijvoorbeeld een muzikant zijn die een bepaald instrument aan het bespelen is. Het gaat bij mij erom dat ik voel een bepaalde urgentie om dat beeld op mijn eigen manier te verwerken. Ik wil tijdens het tekenen door de oppervlakte heen prikken van het beeld. Ik wil weten wat erachter zit. En ik wil de verbeelding van mezelf en van de toeschouwer openbreken, zodat je een eenzijdige interpretatie van het werk voorbijstreeft.
Yes, give a warm applause to Dion Rosina. So Dion, welcome on stage.
Thank you.
With your painting series, you portray people you felt were absent in the visual culture during your youth. Now, what is your perception of today's visual culture? And do you maybe have things, are there things that are changed?
I think there are definitely things changed. I think there's more visibility for artists of color and black artists and their work. And I think regarding to painting, what's my main medium, I think there is a kind of trend going on in a positive, and it could also be a negative way, of black portraiture, so black people being portraited in paintings. So I'm thinking, the question which raised in my mind is this, are we serving the art market? So it's a trend of black portraiture, or is it intrinsic reason that the artists make these things? That's something I really have to think about for myself, because the fundament should be what you want to make, the artist, and not what the art market is asking for. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Well, nowadays, of course, this topic is widely spoken about, so I really understand that it's a difficulty or ethnic question or ethic question. What's the reason behind, of course? Yeah. And well, I think there are people now wondering, can we see the paintings? Like, is there an exhibition we can visit or a website or?
Yeah, my website is offline at the moment, but it will be online very quick. And maybe there is a show in March, but I'm not really sure. It's really last minute. I've been asked to participate last week.
Where is it?
Go Mulan Gallery.
Again?
Go Mulan Gallery.
Go Mulan Gallery.
Go Mulan
Gallery.
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's in the Pijp van Oostadestraat. But I'm not really sure if it
Zip
will.
code?
If it will go on, but I will. It will be clear via my social media.
Yeah, so you have Instagram maybe?
Yeah.
We can follow you with Dion Rosina.
Yeah, definitely. There's most of my work seeing right now.
Thank you.
Yes.
A warm applause for Dion Rosina. Thank you. For now, the next video features Marleen Hendricks, and she made a theater performance called XYW with intersex people.
Je kunt het best tegen niemand zeggen wat je hebt. Ik heb 15 jaar vastgehouden aan die ene zin. Maar nu geef ik je woorden. Ik geef je een verhaal. XYW is een 3-delige theatercampagne die gaat over intersexen. Interseksen wil zeggen dat je geboren bent met een lichaam dat niet volledig mannelijk of vrouwelijk is. De driedelige campagne bestaat uit de solovoorstelling XYI, gespeeld door mezelf, en de groepsvoorstelling XYWE, gemaakt met 5 andere intersexe mensen tussen de 18 en 80 jaar. Beide voorstellingen gaan ieder op eigen wijze over hoe het intersexe zijn invloed heeft gehad op opgroeien en je leven vormgeven. Hieraan ondersteunend is het derde onderdeel, FYI, For Your Information. Een impactprogramma dat erop gericht is de algehele kennis over intersexen te vergroten, het kenmerkende stilzwijgen daaromheen te doorbreken en te streven naar een verbod op niet-medisch noodzakelijke behandelingen op intersexe kinderen. Dit doen we bijvoorbeeld door de voorstellingen ook op scholen, in ziekenhuizen of voor beleidsmakers te spelen. En ook door een mediacampagne rondom de voorstellingen waarin de spelers hun verhaal vertellen. Ik geef je woorden. Ik geef je een verhaal. En je mag het aan iedereen vertellen.
Yes. Well, welcome on stage.
Thank you.
For now, I was wondering, because you told me that XYWE was touring through the Netherlands, but also through Belgium. And is there one specific performance of those locations, maybe that stuck with you?
Well, because now you say Belgium, I have to think of, we played for UZ Gent, the medical center of Ghent, and there were as well medical staff and intersex people together to watch the performance. And I think that's really, that was really special to have those two groups of people actually together and to, on the one hand, empower the intersex families and people who were there, that they know that not the doctors are in charge, because often you think as an intersex person the doctor's in charge because they decide, but that they're in charge and that the doctors are there to help them, yeah. But also then, yeah, to see each other, to also for the doctors to see the reactions of the people, and they have, of course, other knowledge, so to bring them together was, I think, really special to see.
That would be, I think also that's a very interesting audience, to have doctors also over there who, well...
Yeah, and afterwards we've got more of them, and it's really interesting because...
More of the show for doctors.
Yeah. Well, or we invite them to regular performances. Yeah. And sometimes they feel a bit attacked, which I can understand, but what is not the purpose of the performance, but I really would like to show them, like from a more human perspective, what it is to be intersex instead of just a diagnosis, and to let them, because normally they only see research results and they make a program out of the research result, and to have just a human in front of you with a story, and I think that will help them to look at their way of working.
Okay, yeah, because you told me that only, I think, 30% of the Netherlands know what it actually means, the word intersex. Yeah. And you were telling me about the doctors, and well, what's the main aim with your performances? Only for the doctors, or is it broader?
No, so the main aim is that we have 3 aims, and so one is to go in conversation with the doctors and to look for a law for against surgery on intersex children. The second is the intersex people themselves, to empower them, to let them know there's an alternative for not talking about it. And the third one is the whole Netherlands and Belgium and the world. We can easily translate the Google stem in the performance. To raise the number of people that know about that gender isn't binary, not even biologically seen, but in any way.
Okay, thank you. Well, there might be some people very interested. So do you have a website, because you are touring?
Yes.
Tell us.
It's xywe.nl. Oh, yeah, it's on there.
xywe.nl to visit the show.
Hopefully see you in the theaters.
Yeah. Well, see you next time in the theaters, XYWE. Thank you, Marleen Hendricks. Yes. Well, for now, the next video, it features Lautaro Hochman, and he will be talking about his composition, Notes.
Is checking your phone the first or last thing you do during your day? Your Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok? Me too. I felt very isolated during lockdown. My only way of communicating with the outside world was through the internet. Most of my work, entertainment, art consumption, and communication became an online event. For the first time in human history, the same devices we use for work and leisure are filled with ads and audiovisual content that aim to win over our attention. Away from this overstimulation, I find peace in making music and art that uses silence and bareness as fundamental building blocks. My intention with my graduation piece Notes is to bring this oasis of quietness and contemplation to an online audience, hoping they benefit from it the same way as I do, by cultivating their attention on their private personal device.
Yes, a warm applause. Welcome, Lautaro Hochman. So to answer your first question, for me, it's yes. It's the first thing I do. I watch my phone when I wake up, and I watch my phone before I go to bed. I'm sorry, I'm guilty. Therefore, I was wondering, how did you compose a piece for several instruments during lockdown, like when everybody was forced to stay at home and you could not play together?
Well, the instruments I use in this piece are the instruments I have at home. So it's like the Fender Rhodes and guitar, which is the instruments I play mainly. And living with me is one of the performers, and another one of the performers is also a good friend, so he would come over. So yeah.
So you did have the chance to work together, but at home.
Yeah, we had the chance at home. So
Yeah.
the idea was also from going from this very personal space of the home to like share with everybody.
Did you also build like a little bit of a studio?
Yeah, we have our home studio.
Yeah, nice. So regarding to that question, could notes have been composed without a lockdown, or would notes be composed without a lockdown?
It would be probably a very different piece, I think, because it relies on recording techniques a lot, and the performance you see in the video is not a live performance, but it's actually in a studio performance, and then we did the playback in the video. So it's technically not possible to play it live with only 2 people.
Yeah. So it's actually one of a kind piece for this time. The lockdown.
I would say so.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lautaro Hochman with Notes. I would love all to give you a little reminder. As I said at the beginning, don't forget to vote for the Audience Award, because it's only possible during this live stream. Now we will go on to the next video, and it's of Vadim Ramshe, and she will be talking about her documentary Yalda, The Longest Night.
I was 17 when I decided to leave my family, my always sunny country behind, and come to the Netherlands. I wanted to discover the world. I wanted to be free. And now, 14 years later, I achieved everything I wanted. I'm happy, but I go through life by always missing something. Every Christmas, every happy moment, I feel I'm missing part of my body. I cannot share my happiness with the people who I love most, my parents, my brother, my family. So I thought of maybe I should go back. In my graduation movie, I'm dealing with this feeling of being homesick, and at the same time, my brother, my little brother, is asking me if I can help him to come here to the Netherlands. Because of his question, I'm kind of confusing. I have to go through to my life, to my past, and see what kind of advice I can give him. My movie is about the emotional side of immigration. In the Netherlands, I always hear in the news about the practical part of immigration, how difficult it was to come to the country. But immigration truly starts when you are in the country. With this movie, me and my crew wanted to show what's the emotional side of immigration. We wanted to show what the immigrant goes through. We wanted to let people feel how it feels to be an immigrant.
A warm applause. Welcome, Fadim Ramshe. Welcome on stage.
Thank you.
It was a nice story you were telling us, and it made me think of the people watching, because might be a difference. Because do the people who left their home country to live abroad react in the same way to your movie as people who have always lived in the country they were born?
Well, actually, they are not reacting in the same way, but I think on an emotional level, I got kind of the same reaction, which was actually always the goal of making this movie. People who left their country obviously know, and they get recognition from this movie, but the goal of us was also to people who never went through immigration, so they can also feel what the immigrant goes through. And it made me very happy when I got reactions from people who were living here for the whole of their life, but they also could think, hey, I felt the same when I left my village behind, or I felt the same when I went through depression. So at that level, I wanted to connect both groups together, and I was very happy to hear that it was succeeded somehow.
Yeah, well, I think that's something also to be proud of, because you made a work that for the immigrants, I think they feel heard and understood, and for other people, you make them feel or understand. And I think for now in this time, it's really important to understand and feel heard or be heard. So I think that's really nice that you made an artwork that creates that kind of feeling. And you were also telling in the video that your brother was asking you to help him. Where is he now?
Well, he's actually in the Netherlands.
Is
So
he
at
watching
the end,
live?
I think maybe he's watching at home.
Okay.
He has exams, so
Don't forget to vote for the
Hey,
audience award.
Be careful. Yeah, so he's here. He made the decision to take the same path.
And does he already feel the same way, or because he's, I think, not long here?
Absolutely. So I go through this immigration process with him again, but hopefully I can guide him through as well.
Well, now he has a movie to go through the feelings with your guidance.
True.
Well, a
Yes.
warm applause for Fadim Ramshe. Yalda, The Longest Night. Thank you. As I said, don't forget to vote for the audience award, because they will win €1,000. For now, the next video features Ramin Amin Tafreshi talking about his opera Saushyant.
Choices. Our lives are dependent on all of the choices that we make. These choices are not only affecting ourselves, but are making a huge impact on others. You might think that it is others' responsibility to bring about change. But in fact, we are all responsible for every single choice we make and all its consequences. So what would you do if you need to choose between your beloved ones? If you need to kill your darlings just to end the terrible situation that your people are in? For you to suffer great personal loss for the greater good. In my opera, Sociant, we dive into the mythical kingdom of the cruel king, Zahak, and we search for the true savior of the story, the one who has been promised to come and save people's lives. But what will happen if there is no savior? In that case, will you take the responsibility to bring about change? Will you choose to make a sacrifice? Sacrifice the one that you love the most, your own flesh and blood. What would you do?
Wow. Welcome, Ramin.
Thank you. Hello.
Yes, that was an awesome video. Scary. Now,
Thank
you told me that the opera you made was based on a Persian story, and that story is over 1,000 years old. Now, we're now in 2022. What is the relevance today of your opera?
Yeah, you're right. It's from 11th century actually. So it's my opera Sociant is based on a very famous Persian story called Shahnameh, has been written by Ferdowsi in 11th century. When I was working together with the beloved director Sharon Minailo in the beginning of the process of creating this opera, we were always talking about the messages behind this opera. What would we like to talk about? Like what is the message behind it? When we understood what we're gonna tell, which was criticizing a passive society who is always waiting for a savior. So that was a moment that I thought that okay, we need a story that first of all is symbolic, and also it has drama in it because it's an opera. It's that kind of artworks that really need drama in it. So that was the reason I chose this one. But the way that I put elements, the way that I wrote the libretto, the music, and all the things are related to our time. People can easily relate to it, and since it's symbolic, people can kind of have different interpretations behind it. So in that sense, there are so many elements in it that culturally and also people can just relate to it.
Okay, thank you. Well, talking about interpretation, Annette was mentioning at the beginning something about your role as an artist, and that we are so proud with all the work you are doing because it means a lot also to the world and to the society. For now, I was wondering, what's your answer if I would ask you, how do you see your role as an artist in today's society right now?
Yeah, so, you know, art in all kinds of form is a universal language, and it can communicate with people in a very deep and powerful emotional level. So in that sense, as an artist, we are all responsible, and we have a huge responsibility towards our society. So we are the one who brings about change, and we'll talk about things. So we are the one who criticizing, questioning, bringing awareness to the society with our works. So in the first place, I will say I'm an observer, a critical observer, and in the second phase, I'm a composer who reflects those observations into his artworks. So we are responsible for that, for bringing that change to our society.
So the role of an artist might be a critical observer who might bring change with art.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good way of thinking about it. Exactly. Yes.
Amin Tafreshi Sociant,
Thank you so much.
the opera. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, the next video features Lotte Salomons, and she will be talking about her short animation film, Longing.
Een man komt uit het bos lopen, richting zijn zoontje, die op hem zit te wachten. Het zoontje ziet zijn vader, springt op en rent verwachtingsvol naar zijn vader toe. Maar de vader kijkt niet op of om en zijn pijn is duidelijk zichtbaar. Het zoontje begint te huilen, maar de vader weet niet hoe hij er voor zijn zoon moet zijn of hoe hij hem kan troosten. De vader helpt niet van buiten, maar van binnen. En we zien zijn lichaam vullen met tranen. De vader loopt niet over, maar vol. En hij begint te groeien, van zijn zoontje vandaan. Het zoontje probeert zijn vader te bereiken, maar de vader wordt steeds langer en kan zijn zoontje niet meer zien. Mijn afstudeerfilm Verlangen gaat over de afstand tussen een vader en een zoon, veroorzaakt door het opkroppen en niet kunnen uiten van verdriet. Doordat de vader het verdriet vanwege zijn vermiste vrouw inhoudt, groeit hij van zijn zoontje vandaan. Met nog nooit eerder gebruikte technieken hebben we geprobeerd een schilderij tot leven te wekken. Wanneer je de film op pauze zou zetten, zou je elke keer naar een schilderij kunnen kijken. Hiervoor hebben we gezocht naar de perfecte combinatie tussen aquarelverf en 3D-animatie. Ik denk dat de grote kracht van ons verhaal ligt in het feit dat we een innerlijke gevoelswereld visueel hebben weten te maken.
Wow.
Hallo.
Hi. Welcome on stage, Lotte.
Thank you.
So you made the short film Longing.
Yes.
You just said it because you made me very curious, because before the show started, I also talked to you, because you were saying that you have used never ever been used new techniques, so for the animation, and you have watercolor paintings that are, I think, the basis of your short film animation. Could you tell something about the techniques and
Yes.
how it works?
Well, there's a big team behind it, so I hope I'm gonna explain it well. But we first made 3D computer models because we couldn't paint every frame because that would be a lot of time. And we printed those models out from front and side views. And my production designer, Sarah, she painted all those front and side views, and we scanned those into the computer, so it would be a moving painting.
So it went from the computer to real life,
Yes.
back to the computer.
Yes.
Aha, well, that's very interesting.
Yes,
Turns out
very
really nice. So that's the reason why if you pause the frame, it will still look like a water.
Yeah,
color
I hope
painting.
so, yes.
Yeah. Cool, well, I watched it and it worked, so I really liked it. Made a lot of screenshots there.
Oh, great.
You've probably received many reactions to the film. Could you share maybe a few special reactions you received? Do you remember something? Or
People were really excited about the film. I think also because there's a lot of work behind it. For a lot of people. I don't know one reaction right now.
Were they like the most people hyped about the techniques or the story, or
I
was
hope
it
the
divided?
story more than the techniques. That I think the most great thing for us is that people get touched by a story that is so short, and that people directly feel from the first moment, the story and the feeling that we wanted to across.
Yeah, well, I think it really worked for me, and I think it's a combination maybe of the techniques, the watercolor painting, and the whole story, and the storytelling, and the decisions you made with the whole team. So congratulations with your work.
Thank you.
So Lotte Salomons, the film Longing, don't forget, can we still watch it? Is it online?
Yeah, you can watch it.
Where can we watch it?
NPO.
NPO, Longing, or in Dutch, Verlangen. Thank you, Lotte Salomons. So we're almost to the masters. These were the bachelors. So I would like to give you another reminder. Grab your phone and vote for the audience award. Now, we will go on to the masters. And the first video features Stephanie Ete. She will be talking about her architectural project, the Caliber Sculpture Garden.
In my hometown, on the sunny shores of Calabar City, in the southeast of Nigeria, I find myself in an old but small museum. And on the walls were photographs. They displayed centers of Nigerian civilization with the artifacts that represented those centers. And the tour guide said to me, this one here is in Museum Quai de Branly in Paris. This one is in the British Museum in London. And in that moment, I kind of felt like the museum might as well have been empty. It felt hollow. I wondered, why aren't our artifacts, the artifacts that represent our heritage, our civilization, our history, why weren't they in our museum? What would it mean to design a space that reflected the ethnic traditions and culture, the history and the heritage, and the ecology, flora and fauna of the city of Calabar? I decided to take on that challenge. The Calabar Sculpture Garden is designed as a space that truly reflects the cultural character of the city of Calabar, learning from the ethnic traditions, the folklore and the stories, but also the vernacular architecture and styles of the city. The Sculpture Garden is now a space that is for discovery and exploration of our cultural identity, a home that we can celebrate within, a space once again for our long-lost artifacts, finally returning home.
Welcome on stage, Stephanie.
Thanks for having me.
You designed something really interesting, and also where it came from, the whole museum, the heritage. It's something that's widely spoken about right now, I think. You designed a cultural space for people in Calabar in Nigeria.
Yes.
Do I pronounce it right?
Yes.
Is it Calabar?
Calabar.
Calabar. So will your architectural design also really be built in the city of Calabar?
Well, I mean, every architect has the hope that their designs will come to fruition. But for me, this project was more on discovery and about discovering my heritage, and also people in Calabar, in Nigeria, discovering the richness of our culture and seeing that translated into architectural space. I would love it to be built, and God willing it will, but the more important story is the narrative and the culture being explored and represented.
And did you also share that with the people in the village?
Yeah, so I've shared my work with some people in Nigeria, and my hope is that in this year I'll continue sharing it with more people in the community.
And do you like bring your whole the pictures or the plan?
Yeah,
or
that's the plan.
so they can
That's
really
the idea.
see everything.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really nice. And you were also talking about, well, you started off with a tour you did in the museum, and I was wondering which artwork or artifact would you love to return to Nigeria and display in the Calabar Sculpture Garden?
So I designed the gardens specifically around the Ikon monoliths, also known as the Akwanchi. They are the representative of ancestors in the ground. So I would want those to be the main focus in the garden.
Is that the first one you see on the video, the high
Yes,
ones?
yes.
And there are 3 of them.
There's many of them, yeah.
Okay, that's really nice. I think that, well, let's just hope that from now on in 10 years we'll make that happen.
I hope so too.
So if there are any people interested in working with her and making this project, you know, Stephanie, I will say the full name, Idongesit Ete. Yes?
you.
With her architectural project, the Caliber Sculpture Garden. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The following video features Reza Mirabi, and he will be talking about his choreographic work, Time Will Tell.
It happened last August. We are 5 months since the first lockdown here in Amsterdam and been going through an extended period of social distancing. My closest friend, Mariana, who's been major support throughout my life, someone I could always count on, I haven't been able to see her because she lives in another city. She lives in Berlin. And in that August, Mariana committed suicide. It completely shattered me. I started aching all over my body. My body started to swell up, get inflamed. I went through psychological struggle I've never felt before. And I just didn't know how to move on anymore. So I reached out to a close friend and shamanic healer from Mexico who told me to write a letter to Mariana as a way to cope with this grief. So I went out, bought a black notebook and a pen, opened it, but I just couldn't write a letter starting with Dear Mariana. It felt way too formal. But I still wanted to write. It felt very urgent. I needed to move through this pain, through the writing. But maybe it wasn't about writing to her, but maybe I can find a way to write with her. So what I did is I kept the notebook and the pen next to my bed, put an alarm at 6 a.m., just when the sun was rising. And just by waking up, the first thing I started writing whatever came. Just on this threshold between sleep and wakefulness, conscious and unconscious, which seemed to be the place that is closest to her. And to my own surprise, I started writing fiction. Stories about a pigeon that moves backwards in time, stories about a wave that keeps meeting and meeting and meeting the shore and thereby carves a threshold into the now. And the ground, the field, the soil, the earth, who just cannot understand the clock and lives forever in cosmic time. These stories are in the form of a conversation between these 3 figures in which they converse about their different way of being with and being in time. And they thereby gave me time and space to cope. As a choreography, I then invited 3 friends of mine to make Time Will Tell, to give voice to the pigeon, to the wave, to the ground. And then we together reimagined the art of conversation as a way and a ritual of tending to time. Choreography, for me, always emerges through urgency. It's a practice to find movement when we cannot find any other way to move on. Where dance can become a reservoir to hold our immeasurable grief and hold space for us to meet and to remind each other to never lose sight of the imaginary.
Welcome, Reza.
Thank you so much.
I would like to start by thanking you for sharing your story. And, well, your friend Marion inspired you to create this performance. Sorry? Mariana. So your friend Mariana, she inspired you to create the performance. How did creating the performance, the whole process of Time Will Tell, influenced your feelings about loss and grief?
More than influence. I would go that far as to say that Time Will Tell really transformed the feeling of loss into a sense of contemplation first, and then now even gratitude. Time Will Tell was really a key, because in that moment when losing my best friend, be confronted with everything that came with it, like a storm of feelings and struggles and pains. I was met without having any tools of how to deal with it. And I guess this is not just for me. I feel that it's become quite challenging to find any kind of rituals or rites of passages that support our grieving process. So when losing my best friend, I started to lose myself. So I was losing myself, losing the ground, losing the present, losing joy, losing hope. And in that process of losing, Time Will Tell became the response to that. So Time Will Tell is my ritual. It is the tool that I needed to confront all the feelings that came and not wanting to run away anymore. And through its fiction and through its imagination, it almost, I feel it opened up kind of an entrance into the grieving. And it really completely felt different right from the beginning. So it really started to transform this feeling. And I started to almost like feel a different kind of love for the world again, but in a new way. And so even though like I think this is really about my personal experience, I feel Time Will Tell points towards really an urgent need right now to invent new forms in which to mourn and to grieve, new forms in which to see, in which to rage, new forms in which we can sweeten the everyday for these times of crisis, because there's immeasurable loss out there, and isolations, distractions, and I think we need new rituals. And I think our art, maybe because I'm an artist, but I think our art can be the modality for these rituals. I think our art can help us to confront loss. I think our art can become the tool to be able to move into the now together, not as a way of indulging into the past, but in the opposite, to be able to move forward together by creatively dealing with our trauma, pain, and memories.
Thank you. Well, I totally agree, because I'm hearing a lot of things like art is a language, art is a tool, art is something to, share a story with different groups, like the immigrant groups or the people who live in the country where they were born. So I think it's a very powerful statement you're giving us. So I would like to end our interview with one more question. Just a little quote you gave me. You said, not to lose sight of the...
To remind each other to never lose sight of the imaginary.
Thank you. Again, for the audience.
To remind each other to never lose sight of the imaginary.
Thank you very much. Reza Mirabi, Time Will Tell. The following video features Andrea Lagrutta talking about her thesis, The Democratization of Knowledge.
What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about an organization? For me, it's knowledge. An organization is defined by the problem it aims to solve and the solution that it presents. Knowledge is the currency that finances that transaction. Inefficiencies in the knowledge conversion process translate into a diminished capacity of an organization to achieve its objective. With that in mind, I created a research project that had the purpose of bridging the theoretical concept of knowledge and the way that it was applied in a cultural organization. In order to achieve that objective, I investigated the way a cultural organization in Amsterdam creates and disseminated knowledge over the course of its 10-year existence. By representing the organization as a system, allowed me to explore not only the public side of the institution with its debates and its exhibitions and related activities, but also its more complex and internal infrastructure. By integrating these two perspectives, the thesis examined how the structure of an organization, its vision, the way in which it's governed and funded are all factors that can impact and influence the way it generates knowledge. The democratization of knowledge is a research project that reveals that cultural organizations have to implement an infrastructure that allows them not only to manage knowledge, but also to support its activities. By studying this process, the thesis reveals that the sustainability of cultural organizations is highly contingent on their capacity to capture, generate, consolidate, and retrieve knowledge. This resulted in the development of a knowledge management framework that every organization can utilize to optimize the way they manage and sustain knowledge.
Yes, welcome on stage, Andrea Lagrutta. Your thesis, the democratization of knowledge. So I will give a small summary. You made a model for cultural organizations so they can make better use of the knowledge they have already gathered. Which organizations could benefit from the model you made?
So yeah, the model was made specifically with museums in mind, so to help them how to generate, capture, consolidate, and retrieve knowledge. But even though it was made with a particular institution, it can be easily adapted to fit any type of cultural organization in their quest to manage to attain their mission.
Okay, so if a museum is watching or a cultural organization, how can they get hold of your method and of your model?
Well, at the moment, I'm currently working on writing an article with my supervisor, and the aim of the article is to make this framework more practical and more adaptable. So if there's any organization that wants to contact me and they want to partake in this journey, I would love that. We can maybe test the framework and see, yeah, what can come from that.
So for now, the framework is not on display for anybody yet?
Well, it's if they read the thesis, they can understand more the theoretical part and the theories that I use to develop it. And it's like the background of it.
And where can we read it?
I think it's online on the AHK or also the Rainbird Academy. I think they publish it.
So you can find it online, and you have to search for Andrea Lagrutta with the democratization of knowledge. Thank you very much. Thank you. Don't forget to vote for the audience award, people. You still have a few minutes left. Now, we will go on to the next video, and this one features Nick Small, and he will be talking about his landscape design, Water Pride.
I was born and raised in the province of North Holland. The Flatlands, known for its dikes, canals, and its Beemster polder. We are proud about our water history. But today, this pride is bringing us down. Due to continuous pumping activities, soil and water system are getting salt. Climate change, which influences the freshwater supply from the Rhine, is accelerating this problem. This is harming farmers, but even our drinking water sources are in danger. Without the inlet of fresh water from Lake IJssel, the system doesn't work. The province of North Holland is badly addicted to fresh water. Within my project Water Pride, I foresee a sustainable future for freshwater addicted North Holland. The strategy shows how the province could function in 2100 without the inlet of external freshwater. To establish this, we need large interventions within the landscape. I introduce 7 new landscapes, based on the current water system and underlying landscape types. Some interventions are minimal, others are rigorous and have massive impact on the current landscape. The northern region, which is difficult to remain fresh, I'm giving back to the sea. Nature development and recreation will flourish. The Wieringermeerpolder from the 1930s will have a leading role in saltwater agriculture. For Laag Holland, the area just above Amsterdam, I introduce large landscape basins where the water is stored for the drier periods. I use the water strategy as a tool for solving other problems, like housing shortage, agricultural transition, and nature development. In the Golden Age, the province of North Holland was leading in water management. In 2100, it will reclaim its innovative role. North Holland will be water proud again.
Yes. Nick Small, welcome on stage.
Thank you.
Are you water proud?
Sorry?
Are you water proud?
I'm more than water proud.
Now, I was wondering, how did you come up with the idea to redesign water management in the province of North Holland?
Well, actually, this started in the very, very hot summer of 2018. I think it's a summer everyone will remember. It was like the hottest one the last century. And, well, I read in the newspaper one day, and I found out that our freshwater basin, Lake IJssel or IJsselmeer, is getting more salt. And this apparently affected the drinking water supply for the province of North Holland. So almost 1 million people would feel it in their own kitchen, in their own tap.
So can you explain how does it get more salt?
Well, it has to do with climate change. It has to do with a freshwater supply which is coming from the Alps, from Switzerland, Germany, with the Rhine. That's less in the summer. And also the evaporation is increasing due to the higher temperatures.
Yeah, so it's actually a global problem.
It's a global problem, but I think it's especially in the Netherlands, in a country where we think that we do manage water pretty good.
Yeah.
We do export our knowledge of water, that over here it becomes a problem.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. So now this is an urgent matter, I think. Did you present your idea to the province of North Holland? Are you planning to, maybe?
Well, that's something I'm still willing to share with them, because I think we need a lot of people on the table, since it's a quite integrated plan on this landscape or province level. We do need Staatsbosbeheer, like the State Forestry Service, the province, farmers, but also landowners. So they all have a say in this. It's all their property. But that it's integral makes it difficult to just do it with one click. But we need to do it.
I do think it's time for it. I think
so
it's
too.
time. So North Holland, if you're watching right now, please talk to Nick Small, because he has great ideas with his project Water Pride. Give him an applause. Thank you. We have come to the final project, so last reminder, don't forget to vote for the Audience Award. The last and the final project is from Abhay Kumar with his project Sector Quicksand.
It is said architects build the future. We just live in it. I was born in a city designed by one of the most iconic architects of our age, Le Corbusier. The city of Chandigarh was designed in 1963 by the Swiss-French architect in northern India. He imagined it as a utopian vision, a symbol for modern independent India. The principles of order, repetition, and stability are embedded in its design. The city was created in a perfect grid, but for the grid to function, it demands one thing: total submission to its plan. Sector Quicksand is a science fiction documentary which examines the consequences of deviation from this plan. Modernity versus tradition, utopia versus dystopia, human versus city, exist in a simmering tension framed through the lives unfolding within the grid of Chandigarh. Sector Quicksand is also a breakup film, examining my own complicated relationship with a city which has no place for dreams that do not fit inside its plan.
Yes, welcome on stage, AHK Kumar. Thank you. Sector Quicksand. I was wondering, what does your project say to the inhabitants of the city of Chandigarh in India?
Well, the first inhabitants of the city for me are my parents, who obviously are watching right now in India. And they just were COVID positive recently, so it's quite tough not to be with them. So they're recovering. So I send you kisses, Mom, Dad. But with the project, I think it will definitely annoy people. I'm definitely not going to be let back in the city. But the idea is to take a space which we take for so granted. Like, for example, when I was born there, I grew up, the city was always the cleanest, greenest, best city in India. The spirit of Corbusier's greatness was always hanging there, but we never sort of question what the space does to us. And from a very personal perspective of me growing up there, my relationship with my family, I'm kind of trying to reframe the space and also make people look at it from different heights, I guess.
Okay. What does the space do to you then?
It infuriates me, it inspires me, it's my golden childhood, which is just a memory now. The fact that my plans and my desires and my dreams have no place in that physical grid sort of makes me also sad, but at the same time, it's such a strong relationship, so that's what I hope the film frames.
So I think you found a little bit power in making this project, right? In those infuriating...
Actually, the film is yet to be made. It's still a proposal, but it terrifies me. I've tried to kill this project many times, but it keeps coming back. But I guess those are the kind of projects one should make, so here we are.
I think that's a nice one to end with. So, projects that have to be made, things that terrify you, don't walk away from them, maybe. Thank you for your work, AHK Kumar. If you haven't voted yet, there's still a few minutes left. So once the band, because Jefferson will be coming back right now, once the band stops playing, the voting will close. So don't forget to vote for the Audience Award. And while you are casting your votes, our AHK student Jefferson will perform one more song. I'm looking for Jefferson. There he is. Give him a warm applause.
Hello.
Hi, Jefferson.
Hi.
So I have a very, very difficult question.
To you now.
What is the name of the song you're going to play?
Well, it's quite funny because we actually don't have a name yet.
Well, that's cool.
But I think it's going to be named Demons.
Demons. It might. So it's a working name.
It's a working title.
Demons. Well, can I announce you with Demons?
Come on, get the...
Okay, people, tonight, live in the Melkweg, Jefferson with his song, Demons.
Just know that one day I won't be your friend. No wish one said some things, but no friend. You think I'd lie for you, I got no friend. I got again, oh God again. What's wrong painting pictures on the front page? Food freaky Friday faker, got a frown face. No naked nagging, never needed your name. You know me, don't own me. Who gives a shit about your fat face, no name? Disregarded your remarkable burn, no game. Nothing wrong with everything you see is not a name. You're no name, you're no name. It's unappealing and I want that. Cause you're a demon and you won't lay down. Stop the screaming, no I won't lay down. I won't back down. I don't wanna, whoa wait, what's wrong with your common sense? Assume that I would want right back again. Resist, right, risk, I see your innocence. You're innocent, sweet innocence. Who gives a shit about your fat face, no name? Disregarded your remarkable burn, no game. Nothing wrong with everything you see is not a name. You're no name, you're no name. It's unappealing and I want that. Cause you're a demon and you won't lay down. Stop the screaming, no I won't lay down. I won't back down. I don't wanna, I don't wanna, I don't wanna, I don't wanna. Come on, see. Oh no, oh no, oh no, got me doubting about my bloodline. Skin is in, it's burning like a fixture, faded fear. I wanna know what's inside the ignoring this score fight. Got it wrong again, got not again. It's unappealing and I want that. You're a demon and you won't lay down. Stop the screaming, no I won't lay down. I won't back down. I don't wanna fuck with you, still I do until the morning. Stuck with you like we do this every morning. Stuck with you, I don't need you while you're pouring. It's alright, I'm on it.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you, Jefferson.
Thank you.
That's like, well, it's one of our first performances in a long time.
For me as well, though.
Is this your first one?
Well, in the Melkweg, yes, definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Live from the Melkweg. Cool. With us. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was wondering, I have a few questions here,
Cool,
but I
let's
just,
go.
I would love to know what are you studying? Because you're a student from the
Yes,
AHK?
definitely. Well, I'm also in the AHK, but I'm studying at the ATD, and I'm doing ATK, which means Amsterdam School of Theatre and Small Art. So I'm studying theatre.
So he's not even studying music.
No, I'm not actually.
You're just multi-talented.
I'm trying.
Well, it's working.
Actually, at the Kleinkunst Academy, you also get the chance to look at other things. So you can do cabaret or comedy or dancing or becoming a choreographer. It doesn't really matter because they just look at you as a talent. And of course, you learn how to act and how to behave properly.
Ooh, behave properly. And did you like this talent? Did you find this at the AHK? Were you singing your whole life, or did you develop it more?
Well, I think most of it is thanks to the fact that I got to work for Disney Channel for quite some time. I was a talent for them, so you might know like Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears, and they also did that in Holland, but it didn't really kick off that much. But we did do that, and I got a lot of experience from touring with them, doing like dubbing things, acting in movies, flying across the globe and doing shows. So that's why I got most of the like compact learning of how I had to do this and how I had to make it work, I guess. I'm still learning though, like I'm not just studying for nothing. I still want to get better. There's still like a lot to do, so.
Well, practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
I think you're doing quite well. So your name is Jefferson. That's also the name of you as an artist. Where can we find you?
Social media, Instagram, Spotify, follow me.
You're on Spotify?
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
cool.
The song I played first is on Spotify.
What's the title?
Officer, Don't Let Go.
Again?
Officer, Don't Let Go.
Okay, cool. Well, I would love to ask you to give him one more applause. Jefferson, thank
you.
Thank you. Okay, now it's getting more exciting because the moment everybody has waited for, the announcement of the winners, the bachelor's prize, we have the master's prize. They both consist of a cash prize of 3,000 euros. And then we have the audience award, and this one will remain a surprise until the end. The winners will also receive an award that has been designed by Teun de Boer, who after graduating at the Breitner Academy, founded his company Wankelwerk. Now, all nominees who did not win an award today, you also will win. You'll get 500 euros. For now, I would love to invite your chair, jury chair, Ernestine Convalius, to come to the stage and announce the winners of the AHK Graduation Prize. Give a grand applause to Ernestine Convalius.
So, good afternoon. I think it's not evening yet. So I'm very happy to be here. Very happy that I could be the chair of the jury, especially, working with these experts. And I must say that seeing these presentations, yes, they made me realize how special the quality is of the work. Annette Lekkerkerke said it also. And, well, you will hear it when I read the jury report. The jury was extremely impressed by the quality of the works submitted. During the jury deliberation, we wondered how it is possible that the level is so high at the time when the coronavirus is having such an enormous impact on education and the arts. We have great respect for the achievements of the graduating students who submitted their work for the graduation prize, and would like to compliment everyone, each one of you, on the impressive results, which were a real joy for us to behold. The jury of the Graduation Prize 2021 had the privilege this year of judging 49 graduation projects of graduating students from the AHK academies. In total, 24 graduation projects were submitted by graduation students from the bachelor's program and 25 by the graduating students from the master programs. A fine harvest, isn't it? And it was good to see that all academies were well represented in the submissions. That resulted in a wide variety of graduation projects. And as a jury, we are pleased to see that all academies are also represented in the nominations. That shows us the level throughout the entire AHK is very high. We ultimately had to limit ourselves to 11 nominees for the shortlist, and 6 of them fall under the bachelor's category and 5 under the master's category. So now it's gonna happen. These are the nominated graduation projects, and I start with the bachelor's nominees. The first one is Notes from Lautaro Ochman. Lautaro Ochman achieves the maximum effect with a minimum number of notes. The composition is a beautiful reflection of these times, lonely and poignant. The musical expression of isolation, the handling of the instrumentation, and the choice to use as few notes as possible shows a daring approach. So that's for Notes. The second one is Saushant. Ramin Amin Tafreshi. I studied on it. because it's important to pronounce the names the way it should be. Saugient is a work of exceptional quality for a bachelor's graduation project, due to a fantastic layered composition and the modern filming of the old Persian story about the king Zahak. This short opera is a topical and revealing artwork about the choices that we must make in our lives. So bravo for Saugient. And then we go to Yalda, The Longest Night, from Faidim Ramshe. Yalda, The Longest Night, is based on a very personal experience, but effortlessly transcends that. It is a poetic film in which animation, graphic images, time-lapse, and storytelling merge in a natural way. Faidim Ramshe gives the viewer a new perspective on the emotional side of emigration. The fact that you, as a viewer, also feel lost, ultimately is an outstanding achievement. And then we have The Unspoken Truth from Dion Rosina. The work of Dion Rosina exudes social engagement while simultaneously being extremely personal. He manages to translate the history of the African diaspora and the representation of marginalized groups into surprising work in a very creative way. His paintings are of a high standard and make the viewer think it over, think again. Verlangen, longing, from Lotte Salomons. In less than 3.5 minutes, Lotte Salomons manages to evoke a world of emotions. Verlangen, also yearning, is an extremely successful work aesthetically, in which different visual techniques come together in a beautiful way. In spite of the short duration, it feels like a very complete work, and you are touched by the sadness of father and son. Beautiful. X, Y, We is from Marleen Hendricks. X, Y, We takes a very topical subject as its starting point, which is convincingly fleshed out by Marleen Hendricks. The solo performance, the group performance, and the educational program form one strong whole, which can be presented anywhere in the country. So Marleen Hendricks is a true champion of the theme of intersex and knows how she can ensure an audience can feel a sense of connection with this theme. Yeah, and then things are going to happen. It is a pleasure for the jury of the AHK Graduation Prize to award the graduation prize in the bachelor's category to a graduation project that is very personal, while simultaneously transcending the personal. A project which offers the viewer a new and surprising perspective on the theme, and that is also totally convincing in terms of form and technique. So we are happy to award the AHK Graduation Prize in the Bachelor's category to Yalda, The Langste Nacht, The Longest Night by Faidim Ramshe.
so much. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm kind of feeling dizzy right now. Oh, well, thank you so much.
Are you able to say anything?
Well, I will try. I will really thank you, my crew. Without you guys, I couldn't make it. This is a film. I didn't make it myself. I did it with you. I also want to thank my coaches during these difficult, challenging times, also at the academy, who helped me and stood beside me, and my family, obviously, and everyone who helped us through this process. And well, I'm very happy and I'm very glad. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your prize. Enjoy it. Okay, you can go this way if you want to. So, that was a beautiful moment, but there is more to come. I will proceed with the Masters nominees. First one is the Calabar Sculpture Garden from Stephanie Idongesit Ette. The Calabar Sculpture Garden deals in an excellent way with the question of how you can give physical form to a cultural identity and how you should handle, among other things, heritage, art, and architecture within the context, an important and increasingly topical theme. Stephanie Idongesit Ette has analyzed and documented this in a persuasive manner, with a keen eye for the local aspect. That's the Calabar Sculpture Garden. Next one is the Democratization of Knowledge from Andrea Lagruta. The value of creating and sharing knowledge is still insufficiently exploited, especially within cultural organizations. With the democratization of knowledge, Andrea Lagruta offers these organizations a well-substantiated model for knowledge management. It is an excellent study with convincing conclusions and is also professionally executed, a study that can be of benefit to any cultural organization. Then we have Sector Quicksand from Abhay Kumar. Sector Quicksand broaches a complicated topic in an insightful manner. Abhay Kumar asks relevant questions about how the form and the purpose of a slickly designed city affects the residents. As a result of his personal engagement and the people that he interviews, his research is both fascinating and socially relevant. A graduation project that is interesting and extremely successful conceptually. And then we go to Time Will Tell from Reza Mirabi. In Time Will Tell, Reza Mirabi manages to blend different disciplines in a strong way. Spoken word, dance, and music are fused into an intriguing performance in a completely organic way. Although the motive is bleak, the end result is, above all, philosophical and reassuring. Very cleverly done, intellectual and moving. And the last one is Water Pride from Nick Smal. Freshwater addiction is an enormous and complicated problem for which Nick Smal has developed a convincing solution in Watertrots, Water Pride. His research is exceptionally well executed and documented, and he presents a stimulating vision. Water Pride is a uniquely relevant and realistic graduation project, and at the same time a golden opportunity for North Holland to regain control over water management. And there we are again at this final assessment moment. So the jury of the AHK Graduation Prize is very happy to award the prize in the master's category to a concept that is visionary as it is applicable, which deserves to be executed as soon as possible because it's urgent. The winner is Water Pride. Water Pride.
Well. Well, that's something quite unexpected. It was wonderful to be nominated between all these creatives, and I almost feel embarrassed taking this one. Well, thank you, alle. Well, many thanks to my commission who helped me throughout this big research over 1.5 years. It was a tough 1.5 years, but it's good. And well, I think this is the moment to just make it work.
It's well deserved. And then we will go on with the prize of the audience. It is really very special to be part of this event, I must tell you. I'm as excited as the winners and the other nominees. Okay, AHK Audience Award. Let me put it like this. This is nice for the audience. Ooh. Okay, the winner of the AHK Audience Award is X by We by Marleen Hendricks. Because of COVID, and this is yours. And I wonder, were you surprised?
Yeah, I'm surprised, but maybe also not, because I'm from Brabant and I have a very big family. Oh. So and we all support each other. So thank you, family, and everyone who voted. But I think in general, it's the audience is, especially for theater, the most important part of everything, because they're the goal for who I want to share the story with and who I want to bring something. So thank you, audience. Thank you, the producer, Peter, the education, and of course all my friends and family over here. And at home. Thank you.
You're welcome. I thank you too. And where is our...
Yes.
Yeah, oh, there
Here
you
I am.
are. I was looking for you.
Ernstine, thank you so much for your kind words.
It was an
I'm
honor,
sorry.
really.
For your kind words. Thank you so much. So, wow, first I would love to congratulate everybody, all the nominees. You have won, of course, 500 euros, but you have won, of course, first and foremost, actually, our hearts with your beautiful projects. I would like to congratulate Faidim with her work Yalda, The Longest Night, the Bachelor Prize. Congratulations. And also Nick Small, congratulations with Water Pride. And of course, Marleen Hendricks, XYW, congratulations. As you all might have noticed, we have come to the end of the award ceremony of the AHK Graduation Prize. I would like to thank the nominees for your presentations, your courage, and especially the winners also, I would love to ask you to continue doing what you're doing for everybody and keep changing the world with the most special language we have, art. Thank you. Also, many thanks to the jury, Zipporah Elders, Edwin van Huis, Dominique Vleeshouwers, of course, Ernstine Comvadius, and thanks to Marianne Zeldenrust, who has arranged the stage set today. And thank you, everybody. Annette, Bert, thank you very much. And of course, the audience at home and here, live in the Melkweg. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And thank you for coming next year, because we will continue the AHK Eindwerkprijs. See you next year. Everybody, thank you. Ik ga nog kort even wat mededelen. For everybody, all the nominees, would you love to come on stage? For everybody as a guest, please stay seated because we have to make a few photos with the photographer. So everybody come on stage, all the nominees. And meanwhile, I would like to thank you as a live audience for making this moment very special for them. Last year we couldn't do this, and the last time we did this, it was without audience, so we're super excited that you are here. And I think there's champagne being served, so enjoy that. And for the people who want to stay and chat and connect, you can go to the cafe and bar of Melkweg, it's called Milk. And we will have some photos taken here. You will get a glass of champagne and we will toast together. Ah. Okay, so you can get your drinks at the back of at the back. You will all get a champagne and we will toast together.